Hello and welcome back. If you were here earlier today, I really do appreciate you taking this time. If you're watching the replay, you may not know, but I actually have been recording back to back today. I just got off my Mindset Monday where I basically challenged everybody to ask them if they're placing blame pretty much where blame does not deserve to be. So it is a good challenge. To ask yourself, right? And go back, watch my life's Monday, my Mindset Monday. I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words right now. If that was something you missed. So welcome. And let me know again if you're watching the replay. I don't see anyone on live yet. Hopefully I am live. I had some problems with my streaming system earlier. Oh, I do think there are some people on now. So if you're here, let me know in the comments. I was having some issues earlier today with my streaming software. So hopefully I can be seen and heard, but I don't. Oh, thank you, Mandy. I'm live. I don't want to waste any of your time with that. For those of you who are just joining me for the first time, my name is Evelyn Knight. I am the host of the Child Care Business Coach podcast and the founder and CEO of Child Care Business Professionals. I am also a child care center owner. And that is what sets me apart from other childcare business coaches, is that I am an owner as well as a business coach. So everything that I teach goes through my own center first. And even now, I am getting ready to build another center and open. So I'm starting a new series on opening a center from scratch, basically. Whether you're expanding or starting first time, we're going to be going through that process. Everything I do is based on the experiences I've had. So I don't bring anything to you that isn't tried and true. That is one of the things I am very, very passionate about. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit about why coaching, that coaching relationship, and why coaching is really a foundational piece to your success and why it really matters. And most of you know that my background is actually in psychology. And there's been several studies on what makes a successful business, what makes a successful employer, right? And one of the biggest studies that came out was on coaching versus training. And I can tell you guys, I'm sure so many of you can relate to this, but how many of you put a lot of money and investment into your staff? You send them to all these amazing trainings. You take the trainings, you conduct the trainings, right? I am a trainer here in the state of Nevada. I'm one of our Nevada Registry trainers. And so I know I was a trainer for years and years and years. And I found myself as an owner and director at the time very, very frustrated because I became a trainer for, if you guys are familiar with what taxi is, I became a taxi trainer, a 0 to 3 trainer. I mind in the making trainer. I am actually certified to train all of those things. Mind in the making, taxi, 0 to 3. I think my 0 to 3 is actually expired. I have to re-up that, but I have been certified to train in all of those realms. And if you're in the ECE field, you know that those are very, very high level programs, right? And I am certified to train in all of them, or I have been at one point. I bring all these amazing trainings to my staff. And I'd always wonder, why am I not seeing things really implemented? Especially when it came to something like taxi, because taxi are actual practices that you see in the program. So as I really started to study this, and I really started to see, like, how am I really going to see things change in my program? I did a research study basically and found that what the research shows is that you actually only remember about 15% of what you learn in a training class. You only retain about 15%. You only ever implement 5%. That blew my mind. It's less than 5% that you actually implement. So when you take a training class, you put all these hours into training, you put all this money and investment into training your staff, yet only 5% is ever implemented. So basically, I decided there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. And what I came to realize is that coaching is the key. Whether you hire your own coach or coach your staff, that is the key to change and the catalyst to change. I actually hired my own business coach many years ago. I think it's been 8 or 9 years at this point. And it was not just life changing for my center, but it was life changing for me as well. I basically was doing all the things. I had taken so many courses. I had talked to people. I did the things, that you normally would do, but I still wasn't seeing the change I needed. At that time, my family was literally facing bankruptcy, and I felt horrible. My house was on the line. Everything was on the line. Everything that we had worked for was at risk. I was at risk of losing everything. I literally had an eviction notice on my center's door. So I met with the woman who would end up becoming my first business coach. And we got together and we met. And basically, I realized that this was my last chance. It was very expensive, very expensive. Actually, it's still more than what I charge for my coaching program at this point. But I left that day saying, okay, this is it. This is my Hail Mary. If this doesn't work, I'm done. I'm done. This is all I have left to do. So I hired her. And within a month, I saw such a huge change. It's funny. She gave me the assignment to go and cut 10% of my expenses in my account. And she basically told me what I need to do. I thought there's no way. I don't have 10% to cut. There's just no way. I thought I was already running so slim financially. I thought that I was already doing so well that I couldn't do it. I went and did what she told me to do and ended up cutting a total of 27% altogether. I was floored. The problem is you don't know what you don't know, right? We have no clue what is really happening inside until somebody gives you a different perspective. The other problem is that without that accountability of someone watching over me and making sure I got it done, I wouldn't have gotten it done, right? That is why training is not effective. Training is not effective because basically you take the training, you get all these amazing ideas, you can't wait to go implement them, but then Monday morning rolls around and life just starts to happen. Everything starts to go like it always does, and that training gets buried. It gets put in the pile, and the pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the next thing you know, it's in your filing cabinet, right? 2 years later, you might be cleaning out your filing cabinet and you find all the notes and all the paperwork that you got from that training. And you look at it and you're like, man, that was a great training. I should put this into place. Oh, it was so good. It was amazing. It was life-changing information. But I never implemented it, right? And eventually, that amazing training that you took ends up in your garbage can and nothing ever happens. That is why I departed from doing trainings and becoming a coach. I absolutely train, but what's more important is coaching people through. It's that accountability. It's making sure it gets done. The other reason that coaching is effective and training isn't is because there's always things that are just unclear and there's questions that need to be asked. When you take a training, it's one and done. If you're not sure on how to implement, or if you try to implement and it doesn't work out, you just give up. But when you have somebody that you're coaching, they can come alongside you and basically help you to figure it out. Maybe we need to make some adjustments. Maybe you misunderstood the training or a component of the training that we need to clarify on, right? So coaching really helps you to figure out those spots that you really need help with and to get that help in the real time, to adapt it to your needs. There is no one size fits all. Everybody is different. Every program is different. And so a lot of times you might need to work out the process, right? And that is where coaching really comes in handy. That is where coaching really makes the big difference. Is it really helps you to one, make sure you're accountable and you actually get the things done. And two, it helps you to make sure that you basically are really clear on what needs to happen for your program. It is individualized. Just like we don't want to label children and put them in a box of one size fits all, we can't label each childcare center either. What you need might be different that one of my other clients needs. So really, really getting into your program takes coaching. Understanding your specific needs in this season takes coaching. That is not something that training is ever going to bring you. If you really want to see change in your center, in your teachers, in your staff, in how you manage your program, in your business, it's going to take coaching. It's not something you can do by just taking a bunch of training classes. They are statistically ineffective. That statistic I showed you guys, and keep in mind, I know a lot of times we're like, oh, statistics, whatever, but statistics are real. These are literally things that they take thousands of people. They look and they analyze all these different scenarios and they find the averages. We as people are generally all the same. I know we don't like to hear it a lot, but our brain all functions in the same manner, right? What happens with trainings, again, is normal life. We do it, it's one and done. We take these trainings, we go on with normal life, and there is no change. But coaching keeps it going. Coaching is this ongoing thing where it's just that little, it's doable, it's done, it doesn't end. You have somebody to come back to make sure you're really getting things done. And so those amazing trainings don't go in the filing cabinet. They're not a huge waste of your money, right? I know I spent thousands of dollars on trainings that mean nothing, right? That they were wonderful trainings and the trainer was amazing and the ideas they had are great, but I did nothing with them. Maybe 5% of them were actually implemented, right? Now, on the other hand, when we were transitioning to QRIS for my program, we had a coach who did trainings, right? She would train us and then coach us. That is where I saw real transformation and change because she would do the trainings, then she would come in and basically model for us, this is what needs to happen. And then we would model for her in return, like, okay, she would see what they were doing, critique, and we would refine it together. That is where training, where it actually happens. The other thing too is knowing that you're going to be talking to her. Like next week, I knew, oh gosh, June, my amazing coach, she's going to be here. So I got to get this work done, right? I have to get it done. It puts you in a position of accountability where you have to get the work done. That is where coaching makes all the difference in the world. And that is why I'm a business coach and not a trainer anymore, because I know that time and money are too valuable and I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste your money. And I realize that trainings and time are just wasted, trainings are just a waste of time and money if they don't couple with coaching, which is why I do both. I train, but we coach through. My business is set up basically where every person coming in has an accountability advisor. This advisor is somebody that you have who's going to come alongside you and make sure that your questions are answered. It will make sure that you're getting what you need. It'll make sure that you're showing up to the trainings. They'll make sure that you're taking, if you can't show up at the times, you're watching the replays, right? And that you're doing the work. Because otherwise, if you're taking all these amazing trainings, but they're really just stacking up in your filing cabinet and nothing's ever being implemented, you're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your time, right? And there is no more valuable asset in this world than time. Once time is gone, you'll never get it back. So I know a lot of you are on the fence about joining my coaching program, and I want to talk to you a little bit about why it's vital to join my program and why it is a game changer for you. First of all, when I joined my coach, I realize now, I didn't realize at the time, but I realize now that even though it seemed like a lot of money, I couldn't afford not to join her, right? I invested in this not realizing that it would save me. I did not know. And I also did not know that it would make me so much more money than what I was putting in. And I'm sure my clients, I know there's a couple of my clients in here now, can basically tell you a lot of the things that I put in to your programs and that I teach you is going to make you a lot more money than what you're going to spend on your monthly coaching costs, right? To be a member of my program. It is going to make you a lot more money. One of the first things I really like to talk about and do is, what are you charging for tuition? Are you charging enough? Right? Are you, and I know what a lot of you think, yeah, well, I'm charging what my competition. You don't have to charge what your competition. You charge what you're worth, not what your competition is charging. And I know that's scary, but that's something I coach you through. That's something that I help you to see, that you don't have to settle for charging what everybody around you is charging. I charge $50 a week more, and I get it every single day with a very long wait list. You charge in confidence what you're worth, right? And so many people in our industry don't understand that they're really being left behind. And that is one of the many reasons why coaching, just one tiny example of how coaching and coming alongside you and giving you this confidence, it basically, your relationship with the coach is somebody who really helps give you the confidence to do the things you need to do. They help guide you. They help to just see things from a different perspective and to make sure that you are being held accountable and getting the work done. That is the most important part. I can give you all the best trainings in the world, but if you're not implementing them, they're useless. They're absolutely useless, right? That is where coaching is priceless. And that is where you can't afford not to join. If you are losing money on clients, if you know in your heart that you need to charge more, if your parents aren't paying you on time like they should, if your staff, if you've got that revolving door of staff and you can't retain, you can't hire, then you definitely need to join our coaching program. If you feel like your center owns you instead of you owning your center, or if you're a director and you feel like your center runs you instead of you running your center, you need to join the coaching program. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be overwhelmed. You don't have to be exhausted, right? It doesn't have to be that way. I don't know how many of my clients at this point are at the point where they're getting ready to retire. Like, especially my owners, they are getting ready to hand the reins over to their directors because of the work we've done together. I've helped them to see and understand where they need to make these changes in order to take control back. That is something we would be more than happy to help you with as well. Again, going back to my coaching experience, basically, I came to realize that wherever you are in life, whenever you want to see change in your life and real results, what is vitally important is to find the person that you want to be like, right? If you see this person that has a really good, successful childcare center, or if you see somebody, whatever it is you want, you need to really learn about that person. I've recently, in the last years, I up leveled to the first coach I worked with. I actually hired a second coaching company, and I did exactly that. When I started this business, Childcare Business Professionals, I found a company that I want my company to look like in the childcare industry. Right? It's a business coaching company, but in the childcare industry. So I started studying that person, and she's a business coach. So of course I joined her program because I want to have a business like her. I want to model what she has. So if you're out there and you say, wow, Evelyn's preschool is amazing. The business that she's built through her childcare center is amazing. I want that for my life. I want that center that has a wait list. I want that center that retains employees. I want that center that's parents are so proud to have their children enrolled that they brag about it within their community. I want that center where my director doesn't have to work 50, 60 hours a week, where I, as an owner, only have to be there 5 to 10 hours a week, right? Or even that. I mean, my staff will tell you lately, I haven't even been there that much. Been so busy with this company, I haven't been at my center very much. If that is what you want, then join my program. Then I am that coach you want to emulate. And that is when you want to really just flood and engulf yourself in my content, right? If you want your center to be like mine, then you want to make sure you're surrounded with my thought processes, not just what I teach, but how I think, how I see the world, how I operate, right? And that's exactly what I've done in order to get to the success level that I am. Before I went into coaching, I literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally, and I'm not kidding. I've lost over $500,000 trying to figure it out on my own. Now I realize how stupid that was, to be honest. I mean, I know that's kind of like harsh wording, right? But it's true. So when I started my second business, I thought to myself, I am not making the same mistake again, twice. I am not going to lose $500,000 trying to figure out how to do this by myself when someone else has already figured out a successful way. I might as well join her coaching program, have her teach me how to do it, mimic her style, right? And learn how to do it right from a proven technique the first way instead of losing all this money trying to figure it out for myself. I paid last year over $30,000 in coaching. That is my personal investment, right? Over $30,000. So when you guys look at my program at the $497 a month and like, oh my gosh, she's so expensive. Let me tell you, if you want to get like, and I'm not talking, I mean, I have multiple businesses. I have a total of 3 companies. And I'm not saying that you guys are going to get to that level. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. But I knew that if I'm going to get to that level, I have to invest in me, and I am worth it. I am worth the investment. So I challenge you to ask yourself, are you worth the investment? Do you believe in yourself enough? Do you believe in who you are enough to invest in your own coaching? Do you believe in your center? Because that's really what it comes down to. You know that my coaching program is going to work. Deep down in your heart, you know it's going to work. I have too many proven results. I have too many followers, and I have already had the success. So now it just comes down to, do you believe in you and in your center enough to invest the money? I believed in me and my businesses enough to invest over $30,000 last year in coaching to elevate. But I also know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that $30,000 will at least, I'll get a 10 times return on that, right? Because that is what coaching does. Trainings, you put your money in and it's gone. Coaching is an investment that gives you returns. It absolutely gives you returns. So again, I'm just going to leave you with that final thought today, and also remind you guys about tomorrow. If you want to pick my brain, see what it's like to be coached by me, to work with me, join me on Zoom tomorrow. Ask your concierge for the Zoom link, and we would be happy to share that with you. And again, today, first 5 people, I don't think I've said it in this one yet, the first 5 people who sign up, I will be doing a virtual team building workshop with your entire staff. So that's only open to the first 5 people. I don't do this as part of my membership. So take advantage of it. That is worth a couple $1,000s. Literally, I normally charge a few $1,000s, and I can't remember the exact price, but it is worth a couple $1,000s. I'm sure my team knows, so they can put it in the comments. But absolutely join us tomorrow for Zoom so you can see what it's like if you're still on the fence. And I'm going to leave you with this final thought. I'm going to just challenge you and ask you, are you worth the investment? Do you believe in you enough? Do you believe in your center enough? Do you know that you can do this, but for some reason you're just in your fishbowl and you can't see what needs to be done? Do you need someone looking from the outside in to help you to sort through this, that different perspective that's going to take you to that level that you want to be at? I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and I hope that each of you empower yourself and invest in you. Have a great day, everybody.